1969 in Iowa City, Iowa. She moved to Maryland when she was 2 years old. When she was a little girl, her childhood heroes were a fictional character named Harriet the Spy and also Jane Goodall, a British anthropologist who lived among and studied the chimpanzees. Lindsay went to Harvard College and Columbia University, and she worked in Bulgaria as an English teacher and a Fulbright scholar. In 1997, she joined the Central Intelligence Agency's clandestine service. Her focus as an undercover operative for the CIA was Balkans and former Soviet states, and she tracked war criminals in former Yugoslavia. She left the CIA in 2003 and wrote a book about her experiences as a spy. She had to have her book cleared by the CIA. In 2005, her book, Blowing My Cover, was published and became a bestseller. From 2005 through 2018, she worked as a journalist, consultant, and television correspondent on a science and technology show called Techno. She is now head of communications at the Environmental Investigation Agency, which does undercover investigations to catch environmental criminals like poachers, illegal loggers, and wildlife traffickers. She still appears frequently on TV as an expert on intelligence and security matters. She is also on 2 Science Channel shows, What on Earth and Strange Evidence. In 2005, Lindsay Moran had her first child, Jesse Hayes Kennedy, but really her greatest accomplishment occurred on December 1st, 2006, when I Shep Kennedy. Please join me in welcoming Lindsay Moran, otherwise known as my mom.
Thank you, Sheppy. All right. How many of you, I got my glasses. How many of you here believe in magic?
Sure.
Not that one. So, cynical crowd. I know Shep doesn't believe in magic because ever since he found out I was going to speak at 5th grade promotion, he's been hoping something would magically happen to prevent me from being up here. Right now, Shep is hoping that somehow the ground beneath my feet will magically open up and I will magically disappear. But sorry, Shep, that's not going to happen. Because you see, magic is not something that just happens. Magic is something you make happen. Think about a good magician who can pull a live rabbit out of a hat, make someone or something disappear, or saw his or her assistant in half without even drawing blood. Phenomena like that make all of us believe, however momentarily, in magic. And we're left asking ourselves, how did he or she do that? Well, I'm going to tell you how. It's not magic. It's practice and failure. And then more practice, and probably some more failure. And once you've had enough failures, and you still haven't given up, and somehow have found one more brave soul to act as your assistant to be sawed in half, you get to something called proficiency, and maybe even perfection. And then there you have it, magic. You have made magic. And it's not just magicians who can make magic. Or if it is, then all of us and all of you are magicians. Think about something you love to do, whether it be paint, or play the piano, or lacrosse, or dance, or even play Fortnite. Think about the first time you did that something. Did you do it perfectly from the get-go? Probably not. Probably it took practice. Maybe even hours, days, weeks, months of practice. Maybe even an entire year spent on the couch before you had assembled a respectable amount of skins or dances. I'm going to tell you a story about my brother, Shep's Uncle Scott. Uncle Scott is a U.S. Navy pilot. He doesn't fly anymore, but when he did, he flew a big radar-jamming aircraft called the EA-6B, or the Prowler. Some years after Uncle Scott was commissioned into the U.S. Navy, he decided he didn't want to be just any Navy pilot. He wanted to be a test pilot. A test pilot is the person who tests out all the cool new aircraft, the F-18s and all the fighter jets. It's kind of like a very elite crash test dummy. The United States Naval Test Pilot School, located here in Maryland, is one of the most competitive programs in the Navy, in the world, in fact. Uncle Scott applied to be a test pilot, but the Navy said no. Uncle Scott waited a year, and then he applied again. Again, the Navy said no. Now let me say something here. It's pretty much unheard of to apply for this prestigious program after you've already been rejected. That's just not done. But Uncle Scott did what is not done, and he applied again, and was rejected again. He applied and was rejected a total of 4 times. And then guess what happened? Uncle Scott applied a 5th time, and the U.S. Navy changed its minds. The 5th time, they said yes, and Uncle Scott became a test pilot. What I remember, however, was that I was even more excited than he was at the result. And when I said to my brother, after he was finally accepted, "Why aren't you happier? Why aren't you over the moon?" He said to me, "For me, it's about the process more than the outcome." That's what was fulfilling. The process of trying and failing again, and again, and again, until he succeeded. Okay, enough about Shep's obscure uncle none of you knows. Let's talk about you, the Benfield Elementary class of 2018. I've been coming to Benfield since most of you were in kindergarten here. I've watched you all grow bigger. Bigger bodies, bigger feet, bigger heads, sometimes bigger hair. But not just bigger physically. I've watched your ideas grow bigger. Your minds, your outlook, and your abilities, your dreams. I think both individually and collectively, this class has big dreams. And, well, from the get-go, this class of 2018 also had big mouths. It's true. But not in a bad way. You are, from my observations, what we might call spirited and outspoken, which on the one hand can mean obnoxious and loud. But on the other hand, these are 2 invaluable characteristics to have. Typically, it is the spirited and outspoken who change the world. And some of you, I would venture to say each and every one of you is capable of changing the world. Each of you has that magic within you. None of us can know the future, but consider this. A member of this class might be President of the United States someday. One of you might be a famous artist, or rock star, or classical cellist. Lena. Another of you might be a scientist who discovers the cure for cancer, or some other fatal disease, or a way to reverse climate change. One of you might even become the world's best Fortnite player and make millions of dollars without ever leaving the comfort of your parents' couch. But let's hope that doesn't happen. Or if it does, let's hope you give some of those millions to your classmate who's working on the cure for cancer or climate change. So with that in mind, I want each of you to look at the classmate on your left. Now look at the classmate on your right. Excellent. You all seem to know right from left. Your Benfield teachers have taught you well. But seriously, in addition to left from right, your Benfield teachers and your parents and your friends also have taught you wrong from right. And aside from your big mouths, this class has always been characterized by its big hearts. Through the years, while we as parents and teachers and administrators have watched you compete with each other, we've also watched you comfort each other, congratulate each other, stick up for each other. The Benfield class of 2018 has spirit, it has talent, it has heart, and it has magic within it. And each of you has the magic within you. Now go out and make that magic happen. Congratulations.